Um, Today's the first of my new thing that I'm doing, answering questions. People have a lot of questions. I get asked questions all day long, every day, in a variety of ways. So I thought that just offering this little thing that I'll start doing on Facebook, answering some of your questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep track of them and answer a few each. Maybe it'll be each day. It'll be several times a week that I'll answer these questions. Hi, Eve. Well, today is the first day, and the very first question that came was from Jennifer Rowe, and it, I think, is perfect to kind of set the tone for this. And those of you that just watch my Tiny Health Tips or just know me kind of here and there, this is a good question, so it's gonna, I'm nervous. I'm really kind of nervous, and I'll probably cry because those that do know me know that I'm a very emotional person. But her question was, how do you day in and day out, week in and week out, year in and year out, stay motivated? I've known Jennifer for quite a long time. I've been in the fitness industry since 1989. That when I was in college is when I started teaching, and I've run the whole spectrum as far as personal training. Group fitness is really where my whole career has been mostly, but managing health clubs, master training, traveling across the country. I'm an educator, continuing education for fitness professionals, and I've done a lot. But if you knew my story, the fact that I do this, what I do, you wouldn't have guessed that by what was inside me when I was growing up. And those are things that really, there are several things. I've been thinking about this all afternoon as far as the things that keep me motivated. And I do think it's important to share because there are phrases that people have said to me that I've held on to. I mean, just a few words that I still hear in my head. And they have either been like, okay, now I know that about me, so that's how I have to work then. So understanding and learning about where my tendencies, where my feelings, where my insecurities, where my things come from. And that's why it's so important to me when I'm working with people is I have to know their location. I have to access their location, and that's one of the reasons that I went more in the behavior change direction as well, because I know this is challenging for everyone, and everyone's a little bit different, but we have some similarities. I am going to start crying for sure, but my parents got divorced when I was 8 years old, and they were having trouble before then. I am the youngest of 3 girls. My mom had me a month before she turned 21. My mom and dad were high school sweethearts, and my dad is an alcoholic. He's recovering alcoholic. I don't know how long it's been since he has drank. I think it was yes, I do. The last time he did was when I was a senior in college, because he quit paying for my school. He called me the last semester of my senior year and said, I started drinking again and checked myself into a hospital, and I don't have the money to pay for your last semester of school. But I was part of a really good family. My grandparents, my mom's side of the family, they were a huge part of who I am. But my mom had to go back to work. My dad was a deadbeat dad, rarely paid child support, and my mom had to go back to school and work full time. And she was just tired and angry all the time. And it's not something, I mean, she knows she was. If she watches this is all fine and good. But she was tired. She had 3 girls. She didn't have any money, and she was working, and she was abandoned too. And so I I have abandonment issues, and so I won't go into more detail about that, but I have some pretty significant abandonment issues. And thanks, Kelly. So that was a real problem for me in mostly middle school, high school for sure, and college. And it was my behavior and my low self-esteem, and people that knew me back then, and people that comment on, like I just had a 30-year class reunion, and people that comment and say stuff about me, about who I was when in high school. That is not true. That's not true. I mean, to me, that is not me at all. And I'm reconnecting with a lot of those people now too. And I just, my behavior and what was going on inside me was not that. So, I didn't do a very good job at, taking care of myself. And, whether it was through, alcohol or, food, or relationships, I was just really insecure. And exercise is what saved my life. And I was forced into it because I had no money. So I had to have a job. And one of my jobs was teaching water aerobics, which I had no business doing. And I think I've shared parts of this before. But the thing that happened was I had to go to work every night when I had to go and teach those classes, and I didn't want to. And I drove by my apartment on my way, and I wanted to go home. I was tired. I didn't want to go work out. But I had to do it for 4 months. And so I kept exercising for 4 months, and I started to see changes in my body, and I liked that. But more importantly, I had this horrible temper, and it was mostly triggered again as defending myself, I guess, and abandonment. But my mom's side of the family is full of very strong leaders, Naval Academy men, commanders, captains, just some intense people that had bad tempers. So I thought it was just a gene. And so what happened was I was calmer. I was able to control my responses better, and it wasn't a love me, love my bad temper anymore. And so there were, and some counseling and things helped as well. But I then started to focus more on nutrition. So the nutrition side for me came after the exercise, because I started to, one of my favorite things was a bologna and cheese sandwich. And I would get, Sean and I, well, anybody I was with would get, Tuesday was buy a large for the price of a small. I would eat half of a large pepperoni, black olive, and mushroom pizza. When I was in high school, I could eat a large fry, a McDonald's cheeseburger, and a 9-piece chicken McNugget thing in one sitting. Yep, I could. And I did it regularly. It wasn't a problem. So the nutrition started to come back more than I just wanted to eat healthier, because it made me feel better, and I didn't want all that hard work and exercise to be wasted. So I started to focus there. One thing that did happen, though, in college that I think is pretty significant is Sean and I started dating my senior year, and that's when right after we kind of fell in love with each other, my dad started drinking. And so he went through this wacko Kelly, because my dad had been dry for 5 years, and I told him if he starts drinking again, I didn't want to see him again. And he started drinking again and pulled my finances. So I was pretty whacked then, and Sean just stood by me. But then a couple months later, into the spring semester, probably like February, into February, his grandma died, and he didn't call me for 3 days. And then when he did, and I didn't know why he wouldn't return my calls, and when he did call me, he said he wanted to break up, and we were pretty serious then, and that absolutely devastated me. I had never felt that much pain, but I'm so thankful for it because it changed me. I am independent. I am independent, and nobody. I mean, I will never let another human be the sole thing that determines my happiness and my satisfaction. It was unhealthy to have another person. So I had just shifted to this person who loved me unconditionally, and I just fell into it, and it was, I have to be ready I have to take care of myself. So that is a big part of who I am too, as far as independence, and I am not a victim, and I will not make excuses. My choices are my choices, and whatever I do, I have to accept responsibility for the state that I'm in, if I have control over my decisions. And so later, I did become an exercise addict, and it was something that I overtrained. I was amenorrheic for 14 years. That means you don't menstruate. Honestly, the fact that I have 2 children is a blessing from God. My body was not in a place that could have babies, and I have 2, and awesome kids. But those are my childhood and some of the things in college as far as how I got going. The exercise and why I became an addict was because it was a form of pain and suffering that I could inflict on myself, and I determined how much of it, how long it lasted, and when I was done, the benefit was good. It made me happy. It made me feel better. It made me stronger. It made me confident. It gave me all these good things, whereas the pain and suffering that I had experienced, that I had learned growing up, was not, I didn't have a choice. It was inflicted on me, and I was not a good person because of it. So that's, I think, what led into me becoming addicted to exercise. I then, so there's my psychology. That's my psychosis. So welcome to my head. The other things that keep me motivated are, and I really hope that some of the things that I say are not, nobody takes in a wrong sense or takes offense to it at all. But what I do for a living, I need accountability. I see the benefit of accountability, and that's what group fitness, when I started teaching, it was that accountability. It was that group that I had to go to for 4 months, and that's why I teach at a college. I will always teach at a college, because that's when my life changed. And so if I can affect one kid, in a semester, my work's done, move on to the next semester. But I recognized that the accountability and the group side of it was super important as far as keeping going and staying motivated. You needed to be around people that were suffering also, and the camaraderie and the love and the companionship that you have. I'm very much a team girl. We're a team family, but we're all teams are important to all of us. But I see, I've been teaching for so many years and doing so many different things, that I see what happens when you aren't consistent, and I see what happens when you don't change things, and I see what happens when you focus on 1, 2, or 3 disciplines only, and I see people starting over and starting over and starting over, and I don't want to start over. I see that I don't want that kind of suffering. I mean, that's one of the reasons I want to work with people as they're starting over, and I want to help them find ways to overcome obstacles that, maybe stopped them before and they were backsliding. I want to be there for them. That's why I do what I do. I want to be there for people. I want to offer opportunities. But I also see that people don't change, that they go, they're runners. I was talking with someone that started one of my groups a couple of months ago, and she's training for a 50-miler, and she's done Ironman. She's done a lot of different endurance events, and I've been trying to get her to come work out with me in some different ways for a long time. And when we're looking at her training plan for the race she's training for, I'm looking at it and I want to incorporate some other types of training that she just doesn't do. And so I'm looking at it and I'm like, do you really need to do this day and this kind of workout? I mean, does that help you at all? And her body language was so revealing. It was just, no. Kind of like, no, I got all this shit going on in my life that it's not getting me anywhere, and I have to go out and do it. And it's just to check it off. And so by doing some different things, and so I really see change. It motivates me. I was just talking with somebody else, another client yesterday, and I weigh myself every day. I tell everybody not to weigh themselves, but I weigh myself every day. And it's a habit. I'm very much a routine girl, and I turn the shower water on while it's warming up. I weigh myself, and that's what I do. And I don't weigh myself because I think I've gained weight. I weigh my scale weight is an indicator for me that I need to change, because I don't change. I like to do the same thing. I like my rituals. I like my routine. And when I can, that's an indicator for me that things need to change. I've been doing something too long, and my body is at a place now at my age that what my body is naturally doing will win. It will win if I don't do things that are stronger, that it has to adapt to, if I don't change things around. And I know that because another thing that motivates me is I learn a lot, and I focus on whatever it is that I need for myself and whatever it is that I need to help other people. And whatever I learn, I apply immediately, and I like to share it. So by learning an application, I now am I'm afraid of cancer. My dad, my dad's sisters, there were 4 in his family, 3 sisters and his mom all had cancer. 2 of them are dead from cancer, and all different kinds. I had melanoma, I think 9 years ago. I'm afraid of cancer. And when Sean got cancer, I really got into nutritional therapy. And so when I talk about things, eating this and doing that and cleansing and all your little tiny tips, which I totally believe in, small things, that's the way is small. But it really matters, because think about it. We work through hamstring injuries, we work through piriformis, we got this ankle thing, we got this shoulder thing, but we're going to keep on going, and we might ice it, and we're going to take some ibuprofen, we're going to do whatever so that we can still function. We're going to still go try to out exercise that bad diet. But if your liver goes down, you're dead. Your pancreas, it's eating all that food, your pancreas is going to be gone. So, going to be gone from functioning properly. And so we do so much, for the physicals, performance side of it or exercise side, and we don't take care of the inside. And that's where we really need to be focusing on as well. So exercise and diet really have to go hand in hand. And I recognize that, and I'm afraid of it. So I would say what motivates me day in and day out, year in and year out, is probably fear. fear. Fear of who I was. Fear of losing what I have. Fear of having illness. Fear of my children not learning to be strong and independent. Fear of losing my friends. So I have to keep on teaching classes and doing things because I need my people. I have to have my people. I have to help people. I have to feel like I'm helping them and that I'm a good role model and I'm contributing. And because God blessed me with a strong body and put me in a place and gave me opportunities to help people. Beachbody has been such a blessing to me because so many people would ask me to help them for years and I couldn't do it. I can't go be a trainer at a club and one-on-one, and then you got to pay me for all the time I'm spending to write your program. And just having those tools has opened up a whole new world for me to be able to help lots of different people. And wherever they are, I get to meet them wherever they are. And then I get to walk with them wherever they're going. So that's my story. That's what motivates me. That's what keeps me going. Ginger, hi Kels. This was lengthy, and this is your tiny health tip today because I don't know that I can regroup again. Thanks for watching, you guys. And when I respond to the other questions, they will not be so emotional, and it will be shorter. But thanks for watching. Thanks for being there for me, and I really, really, really appreciate all that you guys do in my life. I really do. Thanks for watching.